Good evening. It's Friday, and it's a full moon. Okay, so tonight's discussion is something I was thinking about earlier, and I don't know exactly how I got on the topic. I don't know how it came to me, but I was thinking about, obviously, religion. This is our religious blog, but I was thinking about how do we acknowledge religious intolerance? Right? How do we acknowledge live and let live? How do we really not preach? I don't like to use the word preach. But how do we really get people to understand you gotta practice live and let live? You know, you gotta treat people the way you want to be treated. And it's not enough to say, oh, be nice, you have to accept people. No. We're adults. We're not 5 years old, okay? How do you really get the adult population in the religious communities to really, really practice live and let live? And it's really hard. But I think I may have a way to scratch the surface. Okay. So, what I really want to address is not just, understanding, because you have to understand. You can't just blindly say, oh, she's a witch, she's weird. No, come on now. I'm really talking about battling ignorance. Okay, there, I said it. I'm really talking about battling ignorance, battling hatred, blind, mindless hatred. I'm not talking about the fact that my silly neighbors, their children cackle at us. I'm not talking about that. That's silly. And it's like, dummy. But no. I'm really talking about hatred and intolerance and basically, I hate you because you're different. Or I'm scared of you because you're different. And I'm scared of you because you're different and I don't understand you. But because you're different, I don't want you near me. Okay? So here's the thing. Religion. Okay. You've got me. Celtic pagan. Witch. Polytheist. To the general populace. Okay? And then you've got somebody like my boyfriend who is pretty light Buddhist. He's Taoist Buddhist. He's into the Eastern philosophies, which is great. But also, to the general populace, if you really sit down and listen to what we have to say and what we believe, we're weird to people like our neighbors. Middle class, white, not really Christian, but with the upbringing of that sort of thing. White bread, okay? We're weird and we're strange to your typical white bread middle class community. What I know, it's all I know. Okay, so just keep that in mind. That's all I know. And I've noticed that this is a pretty intolerant town, a pretty intolerant little community we got here. They try. A lot of them try really hard. They're not chasing after me with their pitchforks and torches, but I'll bet some of them would. Okay. And because I know this sort of white bread, middle class, kind of Christian, but sort of agnostic-y Christian, atmosphere, except for the fact that this is a town that's 90% Irish and French Catholic. Okay. The way I figure it. Religion is a career. Okay? Now, I hate my job. My job, the one I work a few hours a week. It pays me shit. Not enough to get by. I don't have any benefits. I'm like a sheep. I'm treated like a little robot. I'm expected to just follow orders. That's a job. No, I'm talking about a career. We can liken religion to a career if we do this. You don't just take on a career, okay? You study. I'm talking about like a real career here. You go to college, you study for it, you get a degree, you practice if you're a doctor or a lawyer, you have a practice. I'm talking about something like that. But liken it to your religious beliefs or your religious affiliation. Okay. So, you go to college and study your career. My first career, I'll just use my life as an example. My first career, I was a Baptist. I went to a Baptist church. I kind of read the Bible, but I definitely was into the belief. But if you ask me now, 10 years, 12 years later, I couldn't tell you why. I think because I was looking for a way to belong. I was looking for a community that would accept me for who I was. Well, okay, so I took this career after basically studying, and then I realized, oh, I don't really like this career. I mean, my supervisor, the minister, we'll just say supervisors are the religious leaders. Managers are religious leaders. The bosses, the big bosses are gods. And things like that. Okay, so my supervisor was cool. But I didn't like the way he managed. I didn't like what he was saying. And after a couple of months of going to church, I was like, oh, yeah, what he's saying about my pagan... I had a lot of pagan friends. Always had pagan friends, even though I was kind of a light diet Baptist. I was like, I know what my pagan friends believe, and what he's teaching all these people about witches is wrong. I didn't like the way he managed. I didn't like what he taught. And then I come to find out that's what the Bible says, or at least that's what they think the Bible says, because really the Bible doesn't say that. And that's another video entirely. Okay? I didn't like what the job entailed. I wasn't a fan of it. What happened to the mother goddess? Don't you have to have a mother? And wait a second, you're telling me that you don't like your lesbian and gay employees? I have a problem with that. I have gay friends. There's nothing wrong with them. I didn't like the way that the church treated those employees. So I left that career and was careerless for a while until I really started studying and was really introduced to paganism and like witchcraft and things like that. And for me, it was Celtic, because I have a really strong Celtic heritage, and I've always been in touch with my heritage. So being a Celtic witch seemed pretty natural. It's like I'd always been it my entire life, like that career you always wanted, and you spend your entire life preparing for it. And then it's like, oh, med school! I've already been, studying medicine, because I love it. That's like that. So when I became a Celtic witch and a Celtic Reconstructionist pagan, it was like, duh, where have you been all my life? This is the best career ever. And once I studied, went to the college, in theory, and studied for this career, I was like, this is awesome! It's my ancestral gods. It's from my ancestral land, Ireland, England, France, and even parts of Scandinavia, which is Norse, not Celtic, but I love them both. So, that career, the career I kept for the past 8-ish years, the bosses are great. They treat me well. They answer my prayers, unlike my last boss. We didn't really talk, ever. I begged him, capital H, I am going to talk to me. I was like, am I not doing this right? And that's the thing, I didn't like that. It's like, I was not getting my prayers answered because I wasn't doing it right. Come on. I didn't like that. And I didn't agree with it. I mean, if he talks to you, if God, talks to you, great. Awesome. That's the right God for you. He wasn't the right God for me, and you can't tell me otherwise. So I got my bosses and my gods now talk to me. I know what they look like. I dream about them. And then the pay is good, as in what I get out of it, what comes back to me. The pay is great. My prayers are not answered. My magic works. My rituals work. Alright? I get to make my own hours. I don't have to go to church Sunday. I don't have to work Sunday or Saturday. I make my own hours, as in I worship when I want. I do rituals when I want. Yeah, tonight maybe the full moon. But I don't have to do my SBAT tonight. I can do it tomorrow. I could have done it yesterday. The holidays. May 1st is Beltane. Yeah, well, if it falls on a Wednesday, I'm at school. The gods will understand, and it'll be okay if I celebrate it the following weekend. That's what I'm saying. I got wiggle room. I can make my own hours. The severance package. Let's talk about the severance package. My last career, I didn't like the idea of hell. I didn't think it was right to send good people to hell just because they didn't do a couple of things during their life. This severance package, I like it. I don't know exactly what's going to happen when I die, but I'm comfortable enough to know that I'm not probably going to go to hell. Probably going to go somewhere pleasant if I go anywhere at all, if I don't come right back to a new body. Or maybe I have the option to stick around here and keep an eye on my family until I decide it's my time to move on. That's a good severance package. Those are good benefits. I like this career. Okay? Think about that when it comes to your own career. How does it treat you? Are you happy? Do you have any questions? If you have questions regarding your career, let's say, oh, pastor, I don't understand what this says. You're questioning your career. If you're getting, talked in circles and you still don't understand, consider changing careers. You know? If people won't answer your questions straightforward because it's almost like they're scared or you're scared to ask questions, be honest with yourself. Consider changing careers. You could be pagan asking this. I know it's pretty typical of a Christian to ask or to be afraid, but anybody can be afraid. You can still feel like you're trapped by the career you're in now. Consider changing careers, okay? Now back to the thing about live and let live. Think of it this way. You have a career that you love. I'm talking about a real job. And I'm in college to be a teacher. You're in college to be an anthropologist or a musician or whatever. You say to me, your career, they don't pay you shit. You know, I don't understand why you're in your career. There's really no good things out of it. You get to deal with a bunch of bitchy teenagers who don't know how to speak the language you're trying to teach them, who don't know how to write a paragraph. English teacher right here. Okay, so why are you in your career? Well, okay, yeah, teenagers drive me nuts, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun dealing with them, you know, tensions, and the fact that, yeah, teachers don't make a lot of money. Maybe I'm not in it for the money, you know, but if I'm happy with my career, why would you want to change my mind or tell me that my career choice is stupid? If somebody's happy with their career, you have no business telling them that they should change it or consider new beliefs or that their beliefs are wrong. So next time you don't agree with what somebody believes, consider this. That's their career choice. Let them be happy. If they're impeding on your career choice, defend yourself. Debating is allowed. I don't see anything wrong with debating. It broadens your horizons. You don't have to be a dick about it. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick, okay? But you're allowed to debate and ask questions to broaden your horizons and educate yourself. Now, okay, the whole business about blind faith. Example, many Catholics don't know what the Eucharist is. Do you know what the Eucharist is? I do. And I'm not Catholic. If you're Catholic and you don't know what the Eucharist is, no, I mean really understand the idea of it. It's not symbolism, it's literal, if you understand what I'm saying. If you don't understand these basic concepts of your career that you've chosen, either go back to school and study your career some more, or really consider changing careers. There's nothing wrong with changing careers. Okay? Well, so my time is just about up. This is the longest video I've ever made, but I think I'm actually kind of happy with what I've come up with. There you go. Religion is a career. Be nice to people. Respect them if they're happy with their career choice. And look at it that way. Religion is a career. Be respectful of other people's careers. And hopefully they'll respect yours. But if they don't, defend yourself. Alright? So have a good night. Bye-bye.